Hi, I'm Alex Archbold, and I've been buying and selling antiques since I was 9 years old. From basements to scrapyards, I'll look just about anywhere I can to find lost antiques and collectibles. And sometimes I'll go big and buy everything. With my wife and kids, we run an antique shop in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, filled with some of the most unique items we can find. I never know what's going to happen or who I'm going to meet. This is our life, this is our adventure, and this is Curiosity Inc.
From home, honey.
It is a gray and miserable, drizzly kind of day today, but I'm in a great mood because I just got back from going on a pick and I loaded my car up with decades. They said 60 years worth of stuff that their dad and their mom had been collecting around the house. So I bought a whole bunch of boxes full of stuff and we're gonna do an unboxing video together. It's windy, it's cold, let's get in the garage. Let's see what we're up against today. Yep, full to the roof. And the roof rack today is full too. So we're gonna offload both into the garage here. I'm gonna get some tables set up and see if we can't make a display. First order of business. This box has 3 vintage tire ashtrays. That one's got more of a tractor tread. That's an automotive tread. And this is a Sebring tires. That one's a little bit older. Pretty nifty. Fairly collectible. This, I saw hockey cards, woohoo, you think, but I don't think there's any hockey cards in there. I want to get into this box because that's a Redline Hot Wheels box. I don't know if that's what's in it or not, but we're going to take it out and see. Crazy cookie jar, hand painted, little cutie pie, it says. Look at that thing. If that doesn't say 1950s or 60s, I don't know what does. Cute little thing to have in your sort of retro kitchen, though. Radios. Let's get this box opened up. Piles and piles of vintage radios. Now, apparently this fellow was a radio repairman. So there's a lot of good working radios that he picked up. That's kind of a neat one right there. Don't know how I'm gonna lay this all out. What's in here? Cutouts. Oh, paper dolls. Whole box full of paper dolls. Oh, some old headphones. Telephone operator style kind of headphones. And just a pile of dolls. Going back to, it looks like the 50s and 60s. Oh, I know what this is. That's a Barbie wig stand. So that must mean that there is yep, here she is. There's a 1960s Barbie in here. Very fancy little outfit, and then she's got the wigs. So there might be a whole bunch of old school Barbie stuff buried in here, amongst other dolls. All looks to be 50s, 60s kind of vintage. Shoes, accessories. This will take some time, I think, to go through. Oil pastels. Even just little Barbie accessories can be quite collectible if they're Barbie brand. So you do have to go through. See, there's a Ken by Mattel sailor outfit, probably 1960s or so. Maybe there's an old Ken in here too. So I'll have to separate in here what is the Barbie, the Mattel stuff, and what is the homemade or other doll stuff. Somebody's little teddy. So a good little assortment of dolls there. I was excited about this because this is a Redline Hot Wheels toy playset. And if I'm lucky, there will be some cars inside too. Because you'd hope that you wouldn't just get the kid. Oh, something flew out the other end. What was it? I feel like something fell on the ground here. I'll have to be careful what I'm dumping out because sometimes there's little accessories and bits and pieces that are important. There's the old orange track. Let's see. Well, I see a toy car. It's not a Hot Wheels. Polly Toys. It's the right era of a Lancia. What an oddball little thing. Not in the greatest shape, but it's still cool. Okay, I'm gonna dump this out and see if we find anything cool inside. We have success. There's a Redline Hot Wheel. There's a button for McLaren. There's, is that the McLaren? Nope, that's a Ford. So we've got a few oldies in here. There's another part of a Redline. All sorts of little things going back to the 60s. None of them in really great shape, but you know what? I'm happy, even just to get a couple buttons and some parts and pieces. You know, there's some cool little cars in here. Kitschy sort of stuff from the 80s is kind of getting a little bit more popular. Like this, Porsche 928. It's a telephone, not just a car. This one happens to be in black. So if somebody is a Porsche fan or they've got a 928, that's a cool little fun novelty piece to have. And I guarantee guys like that who like the old Porsches would definitely love to have something like that too. Put that back in the box. We're gonna keep unloading. This was kind of a neat find. It's an old K hollow body, probably from the 1940s. It's missing part of the string set up there. We got a little bit of a issue with the nut, but it's all around okay. It's definitely seen some heavy picking. This must have been a loud guitar, campfire kind of guitar. Don't know if it'll be much more than a wall hanger, but maybe some TLC, somebody can get it up and going. But that's a cool vintage K. Probably could be worth, you know, $500-600 if it was in really nice shape. So it might be worth somebody putting some money into, but don't know if that's going to be me. In the realm of oddball stuff, I mean, here we have cowbells in the same box as we have old hotel operator handsets. Like this would go to your different rooms. So this would have been like a 20-room hotel. Not in the greatest shape, but these are switchboard handsets from an old hotel. Never see these things come through. That's probably the ringer right there. That's an external ringer. So pretty nifty. I don't know what cowbells and phones have to do with each other, but pretty cool. That's all Bakelite. Probably clean up pretty good, actually. That one, don't know if it's salvageable. Maybe that bank was taken out, but the other one seems to be complete. There's 3 of them in there. Do you know what time it is? Because I sure as heck do. Look at all these vintage alarm clocks. Big Bens, your classic sort of twin bells, like your cartoon style, you know, you've got to whack it with a hammer to get it to turn off, to 1950s, sort of aqua colored. This is a big batch of clocks. And I don't know if they're all working or not. We're going to find out, I guess. We'll wind some of these up and see if they're working away. You sure hope that some of these things were, you know, maybe they were put in here because they weren't working proper, but maybe some of them are working just fine. So I'll have to play around with these a little bit and see what we've got going on. Some cool mid-century kind of clocks. Boy, that one little box has just got probably like 40 things in it. Hopefully there's a few more like that. This I saw in their garage and I thought it was so cool. Buy your TV, radio, hi-fi tubes here. This is an old general store countertop tube tester. They'd have it plugged in and you could test your tubes to see if they were any good. It would tell you replace, worn out, or whether they're good. And then it tells you what type of tube you need. A very, very handy thing if you're doing radio repair, but also if you are somebody who really enjoys old advertising, this glass, and I think it's a light box sign even, is just the coolest thing. It's probably about 4 feet tall maybe, and about 1.5 feet wide. So it's a good stance to take up a bit of square footage on your countertop, but what a cool looking graphic and cool thing to look at. Another old guitar, this time it's a Suzuki. And yes, Suzuki made guitars from the Suzuki Violin Company. That's early, probably from the 1960s or so. You know, somebody left the tension on the string and it snapped. That's a pretty easy to fix piece, actually. Overall, the body of the guitar is not too bad, so that's a pretty easy fix. I'll put it down there. We're digging in the back and found this too. This is like a little drink dispenser. So you can put some ice in your drink in there and have that on your table as a nice little way to dispense, and it's got the spigot still in there. Really, really cute piece, isn't that? In this lovely Art Deco, you know, what a great kitchen clock that would be in this great sort of enamel black and white. It's an 8-day clock, so you wind it up every 8 days or so. Really, really cool piece. I still have everything in here to unload and all the stuff up top, but check this out. It's an original Willesco steam engine in the factory box. Mind you, the box itself has seen better days, but you know what? Might never have even been used. Everything's all packaged up so nicely. Something like that. What a lovely gift that would have been Christmas morning to get something like that. You can make it look like you have your own little factory going in there and you hook stuff up to it. And this particular model, I think that's a D8. Which model is this? Does it say on the box? Don't see the model number on it, but this looks like the slightly bigger one too. Yeah, it's a D8. Look at that. That is a cool, cool piece. I'm having too much fun here today. Oh, let's see. More radios. Okay, this box says, guess what, folks? More cameras. Does Alex need more cameras? Why the heck not? There's a fan flash. Folding cameras. 1960s. Olympus 35 millimeters. There's an old Kodak. Another folding camera in its leather case. That's a... oh, this looks like it's a twin lens reflex. Yep. Gendis 1. That's actually the best camera in the whole lot there. That's a keeper. Well, for the shop. And let's see what some of this other stuff is in here. You know, that's another, it looks like a light meter. Yep. Or fan flash, I should say. All sorts of fun stuff. You know, Kodak made a ton of these folding cameras, but sometimes you find them and they are German. This one is a Baldaflex, so it's a little bit probably a little bit higher quality than some of the Kodak ones. Yeah, it's a German made. So a few interesting little things here in the camera box. Now, don't ask why. I picked up a stuffed duck, and I'm going to see if I can convince Melissa that this thing is real and on our lawn. Okay, I'm going to hide that right there from that angle. Maybe she won't be able to tell. Make it look like it's kind of hanging out in the grasses a little bit. I'm gonna go call her. Hey Melissa, come quick. I gotta show you something. Don't move, too careful. Look what's on our yard.
Cool.
Can you go look at it?
Yeah, should I go pet it?
If you can get close enough. I'm getting in trouble. Okay, maybe I didn't completely trick Melissa for more than a couple minutes, but hijinks to be had. Here's another box full of clocks. There's your traditional sort of flip clock, smaller version like they had in Groundhog Day. I've never seen one like this. Look at that. It's like little cubes in there that rotate, and it says television. It's meant to look like a little novelty TV set. That is just too cool. Love it. Okay. I'm separating this stuff out because I'm hoping to sell a whole pile of it today so that I don't have to worry about bringing all this stuff to the store, that I only want to bring the stuff that I think is super duper cool to the store. And everything else I'll try and wholesale out to other dealers in town. Still want to make sure they get some good stuff, but I want to keep back some really neat things for the shop too. What is in here? Well, there's another old cookbook. People love their old cookbooks. Let's see what's in this box. We've got The Goose That Laid the Golden Egg. Oh, these are an action book. There's some really old little golden books. These are going way back. Mickey Mouse's Picnic. And if you ask, little golden books are very collectible. And certain ones, especially the really old ones, are some of them can command a good dollar. Have you seen my puppy? No, I have not. There's an old Charlie Brown book. You tell it's old, it's 40 cents. Okay. Lots of kid books. Lone Ranger. Okay. Lots of fun little kid books. But look in here. Look at all the Best of the West figures. The Marx action figures, play sets, toys galore. Okay, Okay, I might have to come back to that one. I'm gonna go empty the other side and come back to that. What do we have in here? Boxes full of transistor radios, more clocks, travel clocks, the old Big Bens. Oh, and there's some going way back. That looks like a 1930s clock. Look, you bought it for 10 bucks somewhere. True time tellers, Totem. Well, that's neat. I love the look of some of these. They're just so cool. That almost looks like it's a little, you know, those old 60s sort of stereo consoles, and you open it up and it's a clock. Just neat. Okay, I'm gonna have to really sort through this stuff because I do want to make sure we hang on to some of this for our inventory. It's really neat. I love going through all these little boxes full of stuff. There's your traditional sort of alarm clock again. Look, it's working away. Made in China. That's an old Made in China piece. Still ticking. That's what matters. More boxes of clocks, and look, there's some really cool Art Deco pieces in here too. This one is what they call French ivory, which is like a form of plastic. If you ever see something on the bottom and it says French ivory, that does not mean it's ivory. It's just a fancy sort of plastic. Another nice, it's a Russian-made clock, but this style always sells well. It's just so kitschy and cool. I am trying to go through. All of this stuff would eventually sell at the store, but do I need this many clocks? Not really. So I'm just trying to pick out the ones that I think are the neatest. And then I'll try and flip or move the other ones along. Westclock's Twin Bell. Let's see. Trying to get to this turquoisey looking one here. Kind of a 1950s mid-century sort of look. Neat. Another one there, the Silver Bell. So anything that's kind of like on the Art Deco end of things, you know, that has a funky, cool case. Morning Bugler, made in Canada. That's a nice little case on it too. The crystal's cracked, but it's still cool. There's another one there in a different color. Renown. This is where every clock in town must have ended up, because you never find them out in the wild, and then here I find a whole box full of them. Great little piece to have on your shelf. Anyway, I'm going to continue looking through these and see if there's any gems and get them sorted out. Get this last one out here. What is it? Big black Big Ben. Cool. I've got most of the car unloaded, and check out some of the cool 50s radios that were there. Even if you don't like the 50s sort of style, you have to admit that's a pretty funky looking radio. We've got pinks and aquas and blues and teals and corals and all sorts of fun stuff. I've got some sorting to do. I've got some cleaning to do. And then we'll see if I can get my garage cleaned up here in the next hour or so and get all this stuff moved out. From cuckoo clocks by the box load, even boxes full of cuckoo clock parts to fix them. There's a little bit of everything in this mix. What's inside of this box? It is packed full of vintage wristwatches, and we all know how much I love old wristwatches. I don't think there's going to be any crazy expensive ones in here, but you never know. During the war, Rolex did make a lot of watches that were what they called boy size. These look like they're all project watches, kind of from the 40s and 50s. The age is definitely right, but these would be, I think, more generic watches. That's okay. Timexes and stuff, they take a licking and keep on ticking, so they say. Nice little assortment of mid-century and earlier watches. Fun stuff to go through. But I don't think we're going to be finding any Cartiers or things like that in there. Still, fun little box. The box that had a lot of the cowboy stuff in it, I'm sorting through, and this looked like at first glance kind of a bunch of junk. But you never discount the junky bag, because look, another Redline Hot Wheel. Bum. That's my happy song. So who knows what else is in there? I'm going to go through that a little bit better. A little toy iron. All kinds of fun stuff. And I want to make sure I get all the accessories out that go with the Marks figures, so those don't get mixed in. There's some Tonka trucks in the bottom here. Somebody was having a party. Some Tonka. These little 1950s sort of CFL promotional hats. 1960s Charlie Brown. It looks like a little whiteboard. That's cute. So we're gonna dig through and make sure we didn't miss anything cool, because you never know when there's some cool little surprises at the bottom of a box. Start digging to the bottom of the box and you find a cool Porsche battery operated car, maybe remote control. Oh, I love toy boxes like this. Maybe because I'm a big kid, or maybe I'm a grown-up who's immature, or maybe I just like cool things, or maybe all of the above. But it's the thrill of the hunt when you're going through a toy box to find the little treasures. So did everything in the garage sell that I hoped would sell? Well, car's back in the garage, and yes, it did. So I've got my space back, got majority of my money back on the stuff that I bought this morning. Still have a whole bunch of signs and other things to sell from the previous pick, but boy, what an adventure. Worth the road trip, and I'm looking forward to getting back out, picking up the old car, hopefully before too long. Still hasn't happened yet. As of this video, I still have a Mercury sitting out there, Ford product sitting out a couple hours away that I got to bring back home. So thanks for watching today's episode, guys. Stay tuned for more episodes. And you know what? You never know what's going to happen on our adventures, so make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and hit that like button. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.